What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. I am finally taking a full, in-depth look at Drytron, and I played this for a really long time, and I've gone through so many different iterations of the deck, because there's just so much that you can do, and there's so much to learn. This is kind of like this is like what I finished with. Like, this is how I feel like I am with the deck right now. I'll show you a lot of different iterations of the deck that I went through, and the discussions with them too. But really the big feature of this deck is the Dogmatika package. It's extremely underrated. It provides you so much interruption. And take a look at this board, by the way. This is like a full Phantom Knights board, whatever you want to call it. But Time Thief redo with the last card in hand is Fusion Destiny, of course, with the Fog Blade. I don't even have any going second cards, but oh my gosh, like this deck is like Herald is so good. A non once per chain. That's just amazing. So I can go ahead and activate Dawn of Herald, and now I just have this big body that's going to just protect me. I also just chain block there with Dawn of Herald. This card is insanely good. I have switched to Herald Perfection, and definitely like it is the right choice. So I've just gotten rid of his Appaloosa. I just got rid of his Fog Blade and his Phoenix Enforcer. Gone just like that. And here we go. I'm now playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Necroz Trishula I've also added. I feel like it's just higher impact than a lot of different hand traps. I'll go ahead and negate that because I do want to go into the Ensemble Nightingale. Go ahead and slap that into a Downward Magician. Go into a Zeus for 2 pops. Like, I just broke the hell out of that board. That's insane. Without any hand traps. All because of Herald. It's just really destroys your opponent. And protects you. Like, if he didn't activate his, his stuff, I would have gone into Trishula at some point, right? And just started banishing his cards, beating over them, all that kind of good stuff. And then a top deck, of the Gamma. I mean, I'm just like, oh. I'll talk more about this card, White Knight of Dogmatika, in just a moment. But I wanted to show that off, like, just the ability. I'll go one by one here through the rest of the replays. There's quite a bit to talk about here. Everybody's playing Fallen of Albaz right now because the new fusion card that lets you send materials from the deck, and it's just like no problem too. It's like doesn't have any conditions. It just you only have to fusion something for the turn, which of course this is what the deck does. I do have the Forbidden Droplets. We'll see where I end up using it. Probably right here right away, right? Because there's no use in waiting. Okay, so now I can kind of just make my plays happen because you do activate a lot of effects, and this is pretty much full combo, right? Alright, go for Alpha. I may go into the Exceed monster. And I make a lot of misplays, I'm sure. Especially at some of these older replays. And hopefully I can like recognize them. But really one of the biggest interactions, I think, of the deck is making sure you go into Beatrice. But not sending like Ava first. Like there's got to be something else that you can, dump to the graveyard. Whatever that may be, I don't know. But that's one of the biggest interactions that I've noticed. One of the other things that will come up big, and this will be in a lot of replays, is Iditen is just insanely good card, especially in this deck. Well, in the way I play the deck, I should say, not just in this deck. Alright, I can go into a Unicorn. Unicorn can go ahead and send the field spell back. I can send that to a Zeus in a worst case scenario, because I have 2, pops right now. I'll go ahead and negate that for the turn. He's going to go into the battle phase, getting over the Herald. I'm kind of like keying in on that. He tries to negate the effects, but I'm just going to send all of these. So this is banished now. I top deck a Zeta, which is super nice. All you need is one Drytron name, right? And you've just completely went through your entire plays. I can send that. I can go into the... Oh, I misclicked here. I meant to add the Dogmatika ritual spell, of course. Because what it does is actually lets you send, your Titanclad. Titanclad searches Dogmatika Fleur during your turn. So it's an extra form of removal, especially if your opponent has like a Dark Ruler or more. Then yeah. Also, like this card just lets you keep your opponent's extra deck and just start keep every single turn sending cards from your extra deck. Anything they need. Anytime they activate an effect every turn, boom. You're probably sending an Elder Entity Nist. You're sending an When Pegasus Ad Ignister. You're sending a whole bunch of cards just to mess with your opponent. Alright, Blue Eyes. I'm playing like literally everything. You would be surprised at how well the deck does go, like going second. Because there aren't I think I play like Forbidden Droplets. The Nadir Servant obviously is kind of like a hand trap, more like a going second deck. You're not playing in the triple tactical talents ever. Well, unless you activate Orange Light, but you'd have to be pretty desperate, honestly, to activate Orange Light. Like it's It's okay. It's an okay card for sure. Top deck the Ava. It's just okay. I do have the Nadir servant. I'm going to be able to pop his back row. But I think I'm just going to go for a Zeus most likely, just to like really deal with whatever's going on here. I definitely do not want him to be able to go into like a Synchro 9. So that's what I'm trying to avoid here. I'm going to go ahead and negate the Formula Synchron. He's going to try to Synchro Summon. You can't Synchro Summon. Okay. Activated, you know, the Ava effect, so I'm pretty sure. Or no, maybe not yet. I think I tried to send off of Forbidden Droplets to Ava, but it doesn't count. I didn't know that. I didn't think so, but sure. He's going to try to chain Ultimate Creature, but yes, I will have the double pop with Zeus. The Dear Servant could come down. I'll probably, I'll grab the Dogmatika Calamity. And then you can still, like, this is a machine monster. Oh, that's so good. So I have a, you know, monster negate and 2 Omni negates here. It doesn't get much better than that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and peep his extra deck again. I'll go ahead and get rid of the Zeus. And I kind of saw that he was going to go into number 97, right? Like, I could see that line of play going. I'm cutting himself off from Zeus. So I went ahead and negated that effect. And then I had sent the Wind Pegasus way earlier. No one ever thinks about it, right? He's going to try to send this. I don't know why he would do that. You think he would just, like, attack over the Albaz. Or the White Knight of Dogmatika. He doesn't. I'll go ahead and activate Disciple of Nadir again. He goes to try and activate True Light. That's perfectly fine. I'll send Elder. Elder can pop True Light, which is going to pop this. But that obviously can't be activated this turn. This is going to get destroyed. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. This is a weird Cyberus deck. I'm pretty sure there's like also Evil Twins in here. Yeah. I was hoping to face Evil Twins because I think I played a match and I saw him. The first game, I think he was activating Evil Twin stuff. Anyways, this is full combo, of course. This is a very good opening. He's going to go ahead and pop it, but it doesn't negate the effect, so I'm pretty much fine. This is another tech card I'd use for a while, so I'm gonna try my best to. There's sometimes I was trying to do some hand loop stuff. There's other times I was doing this. As you can see here, it looks pretty nice, right? To pop all the cards and then the main phase 2, you can still do your plays, right? This is just like the bare minimum to destroy all cards on the field. This is still a really decent option. It's so like I go between this and Trishul a lot. Again, like that's the power of this card in particular, right? I don't have Herald of Ultimateness, but I still have the Herald of Orange Light in my hand, which I can use if I have to. But I do have the Monster Negate pop, and yeah, and you can just Ritual Summon every turn. You know, it's so easy to do that. If you destroy all cards, like you're still good to go. So that's why I like that card for a little bit. Also, you can be searched off a pre-prep if you want to add the Ritual spell, but that gets a little bricky, right? Yep, I do run Instant Fusion. I think this is a pretty good card, especially because it's a rank 1. It lets you go Foolish Burial your Drytrons, which does come up. And yeah, I used to use Herald of Ultimateness, but the other one's just better because of the pre-prep. You know, you can use the pre-prep, the Ritual spell for the other Herald, you know, using like one of your Cyber Angels, which triggers the Cyber Angels, which adds it back. Like the Ritual spell is just much better. All right, the Zeta can come down. I draw into a Forbidden Droplets. That's pretty nice, right? Disciple. I don't know why I didn't go into an IP Masquerena. Oh, I think, like, honestly, I have no idea. I think the game was, like, glitching for a little bit because I couldn't go into the extra deck. Maybe I'm crazy. I know you know, once you activate your servant, can't go into the extra deck. But before that, I don't know why I couldn't convert these two. That's fine, though. We'll go ahead and send the Ava's effect to banish. I can grab 3 Omni Negates here. And I do have the Forbidden Droplets too, so like the Flare is eventually going to be online, right? And I'm going to activate it a little early just to make sure that happens, but I still had it there. And I haven't even used the effect of the White Knight, which is cool. I probably could have sent like a, you know, Holly Fibrax or something cool like that. Again, I think this is probably the same deck here, but I get to go first this time. That might have been game 2, I'm not sure. The deck is actually pretty consistent, so I've peeped at a lot of people's builds, and I've kind of like molded it for me. Of course, the Nadir Servant's pretty weird, but a lot of people are playing like the pot of cards. I don't know. Pre-prep is so good because you can use Drytrons to tribute the Herald in your hand, and then you can use pre-prep because this card lets you add the ritual monster from deck or hand. So it's good to know that, because otherwise, like, these can be bricks in your hand, right? If you have pre-prep and this in your opening, like, that's terrible, or at least you would think it is. All right, so I have the 2 pops here, 3 actually, because I kept the Idatin in hand. He goes for the super polymerization. I guess he didn't have a valid target. Okay, yeah, so he did. He had the Earth Golem, but that's fine. It's really not the most important thing in the world. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card here, pre-prep. And again, you're seeing this engine look really good right now, although I don't think I'm going to be able to summon it because, or I could, but it's going to be at a disadvantage to me. And that's kind of why I took it out, because right here it would have been great if I had Trishula, right? If I was able to search it out. There goes the Evil Twin. I will negate, so we can't do Evil Twin stuff because that's really annoying. Then I can go ahead and go into a double pop Zeus, because I'm pretty sure I can just like summon this Herald back at this point, or I don't even have any fairies, so good follow-up for me. I will negate this. He's going to go ahead and go to the battle phase. I will attach from the deck. Yes, Zeus does have an effect, surprisingly. He's going to try to pop that again, but that doesn't really do anything at all. I'm going to add that back to my hand. I can start going through some loops here. Draw a card, which is really nice. Once they're all in circulation, like, you're just not going to get out advantage, right? And you can summon back the White Knight Idatin effect to start adding, gaining some attacks. So you can keep looping this over and over and over again to like boost up your ritual monsters, and they're permanent too, which is really nice. I think this is enough for lethal though. So you saw me like loop Idatin probably like 3 times there. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. Grand Maju, like that's actually the pretty like cool thing about this. Like when I was doing these replays, I was able to just play against pretty much anything. Instant Fusion, I probably, if I have full combo, I'm thinking that I should just save this, to be honest with you. And yes, for a while I talked about hand looping. You know, look at 2 cards. You can turn those into an IP. Like, this looks actually pretty nice. Wow, it doesn't look nice at all now. There's another replay where I was able to do the Gishki and then go into Herald, so that was like way better. I think I have like decent follow-up play, because otherwise this was like a horrible replay and I have no idea why I saved it. Alright, so he's going into a number 97. I did save the Instant Fusion, so my only chance is to bait him out right now. He has to use it right now or he wins the duel. He uses it, so thank you. I'm going to draw 2 cards. All I need to see is a name or a ritual monster. And yeah, I'm off to the races. Like, that was truthfully pretty lucky. Although technically, I kind of... It was a checkmate, because if I went into Millenniumize and then activated a spell, and I would have eventually grabbed this. So yeah. There we go. I can go into the Herald of Ultimateness. I probably should have attributed the Zeus, although it is a big body on board. This is going to turn into 2 more negates, which is cool. Or, you know, I have 3 more now. And then I top decked a Drytron name, although I could have also, you know, normal summon Diviner, like all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't the end all be all. I think that was really showing off how good Instant Fusion is, by the way. That was pretty sick. Like just how much impact it has. It also can help you go into, you know, rank 1s for Nightingale too. Idatin can add back the ritual spell. I can go into a Beatrice. There we go. So now this is probably like on the latter stages of me playing. Beatrice can send Ava during the next turn, right? Fusion Destiny, I will go ahead and negate that. I'm going to go ahead and send the Ava 2, so I can give myself 2 more negates. Boom, just like that. Triple Tactical Talents, I will negate that again, of course. I think these cards are just kind of bricks in the hand. I had these two cards are glued in my hand, although in this case it's actually kind of nice. Because now I kind of have all the pieces. But you kind of don't want to have Fleur. Alright, Herald can go ahead and attack into the face down. And now I'm really set up, right? I have the Omni Negate, which of course I'm going to use. He'll go to the end phase, and I didn't even get to use the effect of White Knight, but that's not the end of the world. And yeah, you can just keep sending this right to the graveyard, you know. Keep looping it, summon it back later to like get more advantage. Although I don't think I actually had anything left in the deck. I kind of just did that for no reason at all, which is funny. And yeah, he kind of like bricked there, but I did have the really important negates for Fusion and Destiny. Hard negates I think are really nice right now. All right, this is like a Orcust Dark deck type of thing. And here I was using Pot of Disparity for a while, and I don't know. I just think your extra deck's a little too important, to be honest with you, because as you can see here, it looks like really cool, and you know I kind of got lucky here with the Albaz to even be able to go through this kind of play. You know, Forbidden Droplets. I'm gonna be able to send something from their extra deck, and plus I have a face-up monster negate. I will go ahead and send the Dragoon, and I can pop the back row because I sent Elder. All your ritual monsters are fine in the graveyard because they can be ritual summoned from the graveyard too, you know. He's going to try to go into a Rusty. I will negate with a Fleur, which is pretty cool. And his extra deck was already looking mighty thin, you know. He was playing a lot of multiples, which was kind of tough for me, but otherwise it was pretty good. All right, Trishula here in the opening, but it's fine because it's good to, like, you can just tribute, right, like one of your names if you need to. In this case, I don't think I do. It's really just kind of follow-up play. He goes for the Ash Blossom, so I'm just going to kind of loop this over again, which is awesome. Okay, this can go ahead and go into a Ben 10, so I can trigger it again, right? A lot of times you don't even need all the materials on the board. I think I'm going to have one less disruption. I think I don't have an IP, but I'm still going to have a bunch of just hard negates. He also did have the Forbidden Droplets, so we had a nice opening, but he's going to have to send a lot of cards, you know, to do anything against me. Yep, I can go ahead and Foolish Burial. Like, that's old. Like, this card is insane. Beatrice is so good. Foolish Burial is, you know, limited for a reason. So he's got the two, like, he go ahead and, like, negates my whole board, but he's, like, really down to his last cards here. He's going to pop this, which is fine. It really doesn't matter. The Beatrice is just kind of sitting there. Unfortunately, I can't turn it into, like, a Zeus or nothing like that. But, yep, I can go ahead and add the Albaz. I can grab the Ritual spell for it now. Gamma can give me 2 cards. And then I can go ahead and Ritual Summon here. I can go into the Trishula, which I think is really, really nice. I'll negate that. I'll banish every card in his hand. I'll look at his graveyard and banish something cool too. So, like, I think this is where this card really comes in. I really do believe in, especially when it comes to, like, meta matchups. They're always going to have board presence, or at least you would think. Here's pre-prep, and he's just going to hit a whole bunch of negates. And Effect Failure is just, it's not great against this deck, you know. Like, Diviner is really the only place where you can do it. This is going to go ahead and add back. Ben 10's going to trigger, which can grab me an Ava. Ava's going to turn into 2 more. So, boom. Like, the Effect Failure really just didn't do anything at all. You could go, like, a little bricky, but, like, this is what they're playing, right? Like, well, there can be only one. I don't agree with playing that in Sky Strikers, to be honest with you. I just don't think it does anything. I used to have Drytron, the Ritual monster in my deck, too, but I took that out. I just never found a use for it. So it's like, it is low-key kind of hard to get 4,000 attack points on the board. I'd rather have something a little easier to summon out, but I don't know. Like, you want to have your Drytrons in grave. This looks like pretty much the perfect opening. Okay, Diviner. Although I feel like in this one, I don't know. I could have Foolish Burial with Beatrice, you know. The Idatin, at the top deck of prep. Although you're only playing good cards, like, in the deck. There really isn't any bricks. Except for maybe Dogmatika Fleur. Other than that, like, anything you get off of Zeta is going to help you a whole bunch. This is going to turn into a Unicorn, which is pretty cool. Okay, I will negate there. I will go ahead and negate again. Luckily, I didn't have a third thing to chain to, like, you know, maybe negate that. But this is going to give me 2 more negates. I still the ability to go into Nightmare Unicorn. I'm going to be able to add this back to my hand, of course. The Tsuchinoko is just going to special summon itself. Sure, I still have 2 Omni negates, which I will use 1 there. The Diviner can also be follow-up. I can send a Herald, get all my Drytrons going, and that was, like, way more than enough for lethal. Yeah. He can't even use Snake Rain. He can't discard a card. That's funny. And more Snake stuff. And Cyber Emergency. Like, I already have everything that I need. This is kind of interesting, right? Because I do have the Dogmatica Calamity. Dogmatic Calamity. What a silly name in hand. So I can actually search something fun, or maybe send a Wind Pegasus at Ignister. I don't know. You know, off of the Disciple of Nadir at the end of my kind of plays. I really do think that this is kind of like a really good version of the deck. Better than, well, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I am very impressed with what's been going on here. I can go ahead and tribute the ultimateness, right? Because I don't need it for now. I can special summon it back. It's only 1800 attack, but you can boost it a lot with Idaten. And there we go. I did send Wind Pegasus. This is so good, right? I didn't even set the Forbidden Droplets because I want to be able to send it off a Unicorn. I'm going to be able to do a whole lot of stuff. I will negate there. And I don't even think I've used like half of the effects on my board just quite yet. Here's Sword Soul. Looks like they drew pretty well. I have like, this is the dumb opening, right? Because this is going to be able to negate something, search another orange plus my like play starter. Or in this case, I only had one fairy in the grave, so I'm just going to grab my play starter. I do have the Forbidden Droplets too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like Effect Veiler is really good against Sword Soul, at least from what I've seen. I'm going to go ahead and chain Forbidden Droplets. I hate it's so stupid that Forbidden Droplets is so expensive because it just really plays around infinite impermanence. It gives you so much advantage, man. And this is like full combo here too. What are you going to do? It's just amazing. That is really the strength of the deck. Just a few more duels here. Double infinite impermanence and Effect Veiler. I think I do use the Gishki monster here to start looping some cards. He's going to start with, like, not a lot, right? I cannot believe he did not... If you have 3 hand traps, how are you not negating the effect of Diviner? That is just so wild to me. Triple attack, I can look at my opponent's hand. I was really into, like, looping my opponent's cards here, as you can probably tell. I think I could have actually looped a little better there. Okay. So, this is probably going to grab me the Dogmatika Ritual card. And he's only got 3 cards. I know, I think I know what all of them are because I was able to peep his hand. Pot of Desires is a really good top deck, of course, but okay. Played that a little wrong, right? Although it's not bad to Foolish Burial, something like that. I do have the Monster Negate, so whatever he goes into, that's nothing. But C101 has to be in attack position. That wasn't the most impressive duel. I actually misplayed pretty bad, so cool. Yeah, that was a great replay. Okay. This is Dark Magicians. All right, pre-prep there. He's got a really nice opening. Like, this is not a hard one to perturb. Okay, so Magician's Rod can get him Circle. He can stack whatever he wants on the deck. He's going to add the bond between teacher and student. Huh. Yeah, he did that. I don't know why he wouldn't grab Eternal Soul. Yeah, dude, this is like an Albaz, like Dark Magician deck, which is pretty interesting. I only have to deal with 1 negate, so I'm chilling right now. He top decked another Branded Fusion, which is a little unfortunate for him, but there he goes. He uses a negate there. That just doesn't matter. It just really doesn't. And he goes ahead and surrenders. Like, this deck can definitely play through 1 disruption, that's for sure. And here is a Kaiju deck. I think I'm able to loop the Gishki twice in this one. If this was 2000 attack, oh man, this would be built differently. Okay, I can go ahead and go into Idaten. Idaten effect to add back the ritual. Go into Beatrice. Beatrice can send Gamma. There we go. Sweet. There we go. I can now go into the Fafnir. I can just loop all these cards, which is really, really nice. And I think I'm still able to end on Herald. All right, let's take a look at his hands. I peeped both of his Pot of Desires, which is kind of funny. And there we go. Meteoronus again, Ultimateness. So I was able to loop 1 card out of his hand. I'm going to be able to send an Ava. Ava's going to give me 2 Omni Negates. And plus, I do have the Forbidden Droplets, too. He did have the Kaiju, which was pretty nice for him, right? Lightning Storm is going to try to destroy all my monsters. I'm going to go ahead and go into an Appaloosa that cannot be destroyed, which is pretty darn important. Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, not going to do anything. I think he's going to activate Thunder. He's going to try to pop the forbidden droplets. I'll go ahead and get over this kaiju so that he can't get over, you know, my Appaloosa. I'm still going to have just enough attack. And yeah, so able to stop all of his plays there, which is pretty cool through the kaiju. IP Masquerade is pretty good. And I can grab the Dogmatika stuff at this point. It's just nice to kind of have that follow-up. And this is like why I took out Natasha. When I'm like looking at this board, it's like, wow, you're really doing nothing for me, you know. Win Pegasus. And I can summon a couple of those out. Grab the Dogmatika Ritual. Ritual summon the Herald, because I do have technically one more Omni Negate, which could come up. Although I should have Herald negated here. He didn't have anything else. I knew he didn't have any cards in his hand. I think I peeped his hand. So I'm a little bit of damage off, but that should still be more than enough, you know, for him to like not do anything. Plus, I get to add the floor to my hand. So this was a really kind of nice duel. Herald will go ahead and negate, and this can't do anything except pop a back row card that doesn't exist. So that was a long look at Drytron. You saw like a lot of different iterations, but that first replay really feels like kind of the top of the, you know, the charts there. When I do the deck profile for this, I will more than likely do more gameplay so that, you know, like this is like how the game, you know, this is what the gameplay really looks like. But yeah, other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.